Hey, you guys, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in today's video, we continue our fall sessions. Yes, we're going to share with you how to create a beautiful fall centerpiece DIY that is dual purpose. We're gonna use one of these dollar store plastic containers. I'm gonna use some foam, some greenery and florals, and my wire cutter. So let's get started. I don't want these videos to get too long because I have so many more ideas I want to share with you. I want to start by adding some glue over here to this side. I want to attach them together because I don't want them to go too far apart from each other. Now you guys, I want to start also to mention that right now our private group is called Ramon at Home Masterclass. You can find that on my YouTube channel, not my YouTube channel, on my Facebook page. That's where you find exclusive ideas just on Facebook. Okay, so I'm gonna add some glue, making sure that it's plenty. Be generous with it because we want to make sure that it sticks to our container. So I'm going to press down, and as I continue to press down, I want to say thank you so much. I really loved reading the comments on our last video, you guys. That wall pocket turned out so cute. So we're going to do something to match. You know, I really do like a cohesive look in the home. And in order to do that, we have to use the same materials all throughout the house. They don't have to be like the exact same materials, but the colors and the textures. So that way you have a cohesive home this fall season. All right, so now that that's stuck like that, what we're going to do is we're gonna bring our hurricane and I'm going to mark a circle. So basically just go around like this or spin it around like this. And that's going to create a circle in my foam, and that's going to be our outline to where we're going to go with our greenery and florals. So that way when we put our candle and our hurricane in it, nothing will be on the way. So let me move my hot glue gun over here. And I'm gonna start by adding some of these really pretty eucalyptus. Now, here's the thing, you guys, it's all spread out like this because I went ahead and gave it a little bit of a touch of gold. I want it to be a little bit more glam. And if you've been following the channel, you know that what happens on the right happens on the left. And immediately we give it a spin around, we bring it forward, and we basically do the same on the other side. Creating that vertical line to create balance on your design is what's going to allow you to have a more beautiful centerpiece. So once again, we spin around, we bring it forward, and we insert right here. Now we have to define the height. So I'm gonna start right here with one of these beautiful boxwoods with a touch of gold. I'm gonna start right here, and then we're going to do the same over on this side. I'm gonna go over to this side, and that's going to give us the height of the centerpiece. Now I'm going to insert some other greeneries. Now we have some other foliages. I have a beautiful neutral oak, but I want to cover some of my perimeter with this. And so the way we do that is, remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. As you know, I went to this retreat in Kentucky a few weeks ago, and I was inspired to create these shirts, you guys. I'm going to create these t-shirts later on this season. Stay tuned for that, because everybody talks about what happens on the right happens on the left. It has caught on officially everywhere I go to do one of these classes. There's somebody who tells me, you know, Ramon, the thing that you taught me was that what happens on the right happens on the left. And that really makes me happy, you guys, because I've been doing this for quite a few years now, as I'm sure you know. And to meet you in person has always been the highlight of my trips when I'm teaching in different places in the US. All right, so now I'm going to bring my foliage, that it's this beautiful oak. Like I said, it's a neutral oak. And I'm just gonna start intertwining them. And next week, you guys, we're going to be doing a beautiful garland for above the door. I've never done a garland for above the door, so I'm super excited. Okay, here's the secret. When you insert, be sure to give it a little bit of a spin. So that way it's more, we call it the money maker. If you put it flat like this, it really doesn't catch the light, but by giving it this a little bit of a spin, then the light really will catch on and it's going to look absolutely fabulous, honey. So we're going to insert, okay, let's see over here. We're trying to cover as much as we can of this foam, but also I want it to be a little bit more airy. So I have to be really diligent about where I put all of these beautiful foliages. So this is what it's looking like. Like I said, this green and this neutral foam, and how cute is that with a berry on the top? Isn't that gorgeous? You guys, give it up for Jameson, who's behind the camera. He's been helping officially. I would bring him to the fourth. A lot of people have actually been asking, where is Jameson? Where is Jameson? Well, he's right here right now. Is there anything you want to say?
I'll be in a later video.
He says that he'll be in a later video because Jameson is the kind of person that he's always dressed up, right? Doesn't matter if he's just going to Walmart, he'll have to have some outfit on. And I can just go in shorts and a hoodie, that's fine, no problem. But Jameson, he has to have his jewels and his bangles. And so right now he's just in a simple t-shirt. So, but he says that he'll be on later on in future videos. All right, so I am back and I'm gonna switch my wire cutters over to this side. Now also Jameson gave me this idea. I guess when he's editing the videos, this is too loud. So now we have this cloth so it doesn't bang on the table because he's delicate ears. All right, so now what I'm going to is I'm gonna grab some of these flowers and I'm gonna start with some of these gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous white bleach hydrangea, listen to me, sunflower. And I'm gonna cut the stem where the foliage comes. But guess what? I'm also going to insert this foliage because that's going to create more of a natural look. So I'm gonna start right here on the top. Remember, we have to respect that circle, so do not go further down than that circle. We have another one right here. So I'm gonna insert about this much, then just cut the top of your foliage and then insert this guy or whatever. What happens on the right, happens on the left. So immediately if you have another one, just go ahead and put them like that. So now what I'm going to is I'm gonna bring this guy right here. Now this is facing almost to my left. I kinda wanna bring this one down, but face it a little bit to my right. So that way they look intentional. So now I'm gonna spin around and I'm going to repeat this. I'm gonna bring one of these guys right here and I'm gonna cut this one. Let me see which other one do I have. Do I have a shorter one? I have a shorter one that I can cut with no foliage. So I'm gonna cut this guy right here. I'm gonna bring over to this side looking up. And remember the other one has to go looking the opposite direction like this. And so this, I have my foliage, I'm gonna add it right here to the corner. And that's gonna create more nature inspired look. All right, so now I'm gonna spin it around and see how they are basically the same but opposite. So you have to create that in order to create balance. You have to bring the same elements to one side of the table and the same elements to the other side. Now this is where it's going to be really fun because we're gonna add some other foliage, like some other flowers like this right here. And once again, cut those foliages and first insert the foliage. I'm gonna put one right here where the sunflowers, oh, my flower, where the sunflowers are. So immediately I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Oh, you guys, if you've been following this channel, you know that I also love the sound of the foam being poked with the flowers. It's my favorite. All right, so far we have it like this. So I'm gonna bring this guy over to this side. Remember, we have to make sure that this hurricane fits in. And then I'm gonna grab another one of those, but I'm gonna grab a more natural looking one. So I'm gonna grab this guy, I'm gonna give it a little bit more of length. And I think this one has supposed to have a foliage, but it didn't, so I'm gonna, well, you know what? I'm gonna put it right here. So what goes up must come down, and we have a foliage we're going to cut. So we're gonna bring it, let's see, where do I want? I'm gonna put it over on this side with them. Be more intentional with the foliage like that. And so now we have this right here. We're going to repeat again. Actually, I'm gonna show you a trick. You know how I'm always telling you to work with sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s. So I'm gonna do 2 on this side. So I'm gonna come down over on this side and just do 1. And then I'm gonna bring this foliage over on this side. How cute is that? All right, I'm gonna stop right here. But first, I'm going to add a few of these orbs, and I'm going to show you a trick. I'm gonna put this down right here. I'm gonna bring out my wires. You guys know that I love a 20 gauge wire. My ex-boss used to say that you can basically fix anything that is wrong with this world with a 20 gauge wire. And if you work with that gentleman, you know he wasn't lying. Mr. was not lying. He always knew how to use this wire to fix problems around the flower shop. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one of these orbs right here. And just by inserting that wire, look how cute that is. That brings that natural element. Now this is a little bit up. What I'm going to do, this too short of a wire. You know what, I think I have a shorter one. Because sometimes I've been needing those longer ones and I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't cut it. So I'm going to add another one. Just go ahead and put the S hook right here and then close, grab it like a little pencil. So remember to opposite on the other side. We're going to poke right here. All right, you guys, so I went ahead and put the hurricane in, and so now we have our flyaways, and for that, I have the berries that we used on our wall pocket, and then also I have this gorgeous, 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 let me get this out of the way, flyaway flower that I just absolutely love. So I have to be very intentional with this, so I'm gonna bring my wire cutters, and I'm super excited, like I said, to share with you the garland for above the door. I cannot wait. So I'm gonna start right here. So I wanted to bring the hurricane so I can get closer. So remember I told you on our last video that when it comes down to the flyaways, I'm always telling you what happens on the right happens on the left, what goes up must come down. But when it comes down to the flyaways, we throw all of the rules out the window, out they go, because I want you to just let your eye dictate where do you want your flyaways to go. So I added a set of 2 over on this side. I added just 1 over on this side. So I'm going to do this triangle and I'm going to add a set of 3 to create that triangle and to make sure that we have balance. So there's 1. I'm going to add another one all the way to the bottom. There's 2. And then I'm going to add yet another one closer to this one. And this is going to create more of a cluster, and that it's more visible to the eye, as you guys can see, than if you just have one. But in this case, we did that triangle. So you basically draw a line with a cluster, and then you pick a point. And you can do that line vertical, horizontal. You just have to draw a line on your design and then always finish with a point. So that's all I'm going to use for that. And I have this really pretty wispy flyaway that I am obsessed with. So I'm gonna start right here and I'm going to let all of these grasses just spill forward. I think it is more beautiful when it's on the table and it's just gracing the table. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. So I'm gonna start right here and then I'm going to go in and out, in and out, in and out. Oh, that just made me hungry. In and out. We have a burger joint here in California called In and Out. And we agree, me and Jameson, that it is perhaps the best fast food there is. We love it. We really don't eat much fast food, but if we're in the mood for it, then In-N-Out is the place to go to. Doesn't it sound good? I'm making myself hungry, honey. Right, so once again, those flyaways have to stick out further than any other flower or foliage. That's what gives your tablescape and your centerpiece movement. And remember, what goes up always, always, always comes out. And you just spin a little bit more and you bring a few more. Once again, let them spill forward and out as far as you can. So that way it has that movement, but immediately, oh my gosh, you guys, this one has a tag. Okay, so the easiest way to do is get that, you know what, the easiest way to do is get your scissors. Because sometimes I'll be fighting with these tags, and guess what? Some of these tags are known for winning. You can fight with them all you want, but most likely they'll win and have to get the scissors out. All right, so I'm right here now. I'm gonna bring on this side right here. I have a few more, so I'm going to just get away from it for a second, spin it around and see where on the bottom, like I feel like I can use one right here. Show you the short one. Like that, and I want a taller one on the top, so I'm gonna go over to this side right here. Now also, when you're inserting your flyaways, the easiest way it is for you to make them really fly away is if you insert at an angle. Instead of inserting like that, it's going to be vertical. So in order to make it fly away, you just move everything like that, and look, that's going to give it that. All right, you guys, I'm going to clean up and put a candle in and show you the end result. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so here is this beautiful neutral centerpiece for fall with a beautiful candle. I absolutely love the way this turned out. I have a pumpkin over here I want to share with you. This is a beautiful pumpkin that just goes so well with this theme. Like I said, this with the gold, a little bit of a touch of a gold, and all of the neutral colors really looks glam and sophisticated. And I really hope that you enjoyed it and you are going to give it a try. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. What goes up must come down, and you too can have a gorgeous centerpiece for fall. What do you guys think?